Welcome to Leading Life, the show all about living to the fullest and leading life on your terms.
You will learn tips, tools, and strategies for achieving total personal transformation.
I'm Bren.
And I'm Cam.
This is Leading Life.
Welcome to Leading Life. Welcome back to this episode. I don't even know, we're in the 20s right now, right, Brennan?
This has got to be like 26, 27, 28, something like that. You know, we got to count our episodes.
We do, man, like, because every time, when I heard we were at 20, it blew my mind. Like, I didn't even think I thought we were at like 5 or something. So, this is good. Today is an awesome episode. Brennan, take it away.
Take it away. Well, you know, tonight we've got our friend named Sean. Sean Candy Douglas. Actually, I think it's just Sean Douglas. But we've just found that out. We've got Sean. You're a motivational speaker and a trainer, yes. And you help people to grow professionally and personally. And I think we met through one of our friends. I think maybe it was Bears. Was it Bears?
Bears. Yep.
Yeah, Bears is awesome. So thank you, Bears, for introducing us. And we got you on today to talk about a blueprint for taking massive action, because so many people want to take action in their lives. They know that, hey, if I got a dream, if I want to do something with my life, I got to actually do stuff. I got to take action. I got to take not just any action, but massive action. But so many of us just don't know where to start. And that's why we got Sean in the house today. And Sean's going to talk about that. So Sean, take it away, man. First, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your story, kind of how you went from where you were to where you are today on our show. And then we'll start sharing some of the good stuff. So start getting people some information.
Oh man, that's I'm just so excited to be here, man. I've been following you guys for a little bit. I saw your TED intro video, man, and you guys are both freaking killing it, man. I applaud you both. Thanks for having me as a guest.
Yeah,
thanks for being.
I grew up in Michigan. Grew up in a broken home, alcohol-filled, domestic violence. In my lifetime, from 0 to 18, when I was 18 years old, I lived in 11 different houses and attended 8 different schools. I moved around a lot. We got kicked out of houses. I lived in my grandparents' basement twice, man. It was rough, man, living in and we lived in Detroit, Michigan. So fast forward, and I graduated high school with like a 2.0, and I was working at Discount Tire as a warehouse manager. Patriotic, and I said, you know what? I'm just going to join the military. I'm not really doing anything with my life. I've talked to people doing it, but it's whatever. Well, then when that event happened, I found a reason. I found a purpose. I'm like, you know what? I want to join the military. So I did. Joined the military in 2001. Hit my first Middle East soil in 2003, and I've been rocking it ever since. And somewhere along the way, I think I lost my path. My recruiter told me that because I'm an aircraft mechanic on a fighter aircraft, he was like, you're going to get a lot of paperwork because they're going to write you up a lot because we're kind of mean people and we're all a bunch of hooligans or whatever, because we work hard and play hard, and because we play hard, you're going to develop an alcohol problem. I was like, oh, whatever. Well, by 2001, so 2007, I was a functioning alcoholic. I was losing my career because I was coming to work drunk. I was wrecking relationships. I was putting wedges in between my coworkers and myself and outside relationships. And I was just, I was a bad person. I was just bad. I was hateful. I was bad. A lot of things came up that I didn't deal with from my childhood. Things that I've seen, my mom and dad divorcing, things that I dealt with when I deployed, to the desert. I didn't want to deal with it. And so I masked my pain by just drinking my sorrows away. And that's what I did. So in 2008, I actually debated on committing suicide, and I tried, and I actually put a gun in my mouth in 2008, and I was ready to go. Luckily, I was stopped, and that moment set my life where it is now. A lot of people run from pain. That's the worst thing you can do. Out of that tragedy birthed the passion that I never knew I had. Because of that pain, I got the help that I needed, that got me motivated and said, I need to do something else because what I'm doing is not working. Whatever I'm doing is ruining my life. So I got help from different chaplains and different other figures, and from alcohol dependency programs and different things. And months later into my resurrection, if you will, into my rehab, my commander said, dude, you have an awesome testimony. You have to be a drill instructor. I'm like, I don't know about all that. So they put me in for it. I applied and I got it. So from 2009 to 2013, I was a drill instructor and I used to tell people my testimony. And so my job for 8 weeks was to prepare young men and women for military duty. I was the guy that screamed in your face for like 12 hours a day. That was me, you know? So those 4 years, I fell in love with speaking. I fell in love with teaching and training and the aha moments and the, wow, look at the transformation that I made as a person, but look at the transformation that those trainees made as a person. And we came together as a team. And I did that every 8 weeks. I'd get somebody new. I'd get like 50, 60 people. And for 8 weeks, that's what I did. And then they'd graduate basic training and I get a new crop of people and do it all over again. So, out of that tragedy in 2008, for those 4 years, I moved to North Carolina, and somebody said, hey, man, I know what you can do. Why don't you be a resiliency trainer, training people on how to be resilient? I'm like, huh, okay. Well, then from 2013 to now, that's what I've been doing. I've been a master resilience trainer, teaching mental, physical, spiritual, and social resilience skill sets. So that's what I do, man.
That's intense. That is an intense. No, I
episode
like
complied with.
That's cool, man. That's cool, man. It's so interesting how, the path, how it could take us down, the dark path. And then sometimes that darkness is what shoots us back into the light and shoots us into creating light for others as well. That's really powerful, man. So like, how'd you go from there to doing podcasts and speaking and books and whatever, all the other stuff?
So in 2009, I was grinding, man. I wanted to be the best because I sucked at first. Like in my student flight that you push, you constantly get yelled at. Like you have all these military leaders like, no, sir, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Oh, way to go, genius. You just messed this up. And so I was like, I'm tired of getting yelled at for stupid stuff. Like these trainees, man, like you get in trouble, but that's what you're supposed to do is as a student of the game, man, you're just getting kicked in the teeth daily and you're getting yelled at and screamed at and like you're learning, but they're teaching you at the same time. At the end of the day, like, did you know what you messed up? Yeah, I didn't get him there on time. Or yeah, I was supposed to, something stupid as I'm supposed to train them on how to make beds, but I sucked at that. And by like a year later, I was screaming at other people because they didn't teach their flight correctly. Like, what did you teach? I'm like, this is stupid, But I loved teaching and training people, period. It's a high. When you see people like, hey, man, you got to do this way, and they do this way, and they get it, man, it's like you're providing value to someone. That is what I love, providing value to people. So out of those moments, I wanted to be better and be better and be better. And in 2010, I was the instructor of the year for what I did. I was drill instructor of the year in 2010. I was like, man, this is awesome. This is the pinnacle, man. I've reached the top, But then I was like, well, I want to be a trainer and I want to train people on how to train other MTIs. So I wanted to be better than what I was before. And that set me on a path to every day, I'm going to be better than I was the previous day. I'm going to be better. I'm a better. And then I found Eric Thomas and I found Tony Robbins and Les Brown and Zig Ziglar. And I found all these polarizing figures and I just modeled what they were doing. Worked for me and what didn't. And I modeled what they were doing, and I saw the results in my life, and I never looked back, man. The podcast came from, I was speaking in 2009, going to high schools and, whatever. In 2010, I was reaching out and speaking to different organizations, and then right around 2013, they were like, hey, man, you want to go speak at this conference? I'm like, sure. And I got some people to laugh, and some people were like, I don't understand what you were talking about, so thanks for wasting my time. I'm like, okay, well, thanks for paying me. So, but, I found that I could be of value at conferences, associations, and whatnot. So this year, 2016, I said, in January, I am taking massive action, and I'm going to build a following, and I'm going to build my business.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I think we lost him. I'm not sure.
Did we lose him?
No, I like what he was saying there. You know what I mean? Like when he found Eric Thomas, when he found Tony Robbins, when he found all these other speakers and teachers, yeah, like that's what changed my life, man. Was it's like I wasn't something that stuck out to me that I heard at a recent presentation on the Byron Nelson said. He said, "Look, you're not ignorant or you're not stupid. You're just ignorant." And realizing that and knowing that, it's like, man, it's like it's not that I'm stupid, or it's not that I don't understand this stuff. It's not that I can't understand. It's that I've been never told. And so when you find teachers like Tony Robbins, when you start to get into new books, new podcasts, you find Eric Thomas, all these other teachers or speakers or coaches or whatever you want to call them, it, it it's like a new perspective that you never had before. And sometimes, somebody like we had this conversation before where it's like Tony Robbins' message really resonates with me personally. I love what he says, how he says it, everything about it. But for other people, they need kind of more of a soft approach, like our Aunt Robin, right? If you watch the Tony Robbins documentary, there's just a ton of swearing in it. There's a ton of, there's a ton of swearing and profanity that is not for everybody. But the way he uses it as a shocker. He uses it to get you into a different state, which I find is like amazing. But somebody might really more appreciate the Brian Tracy approach, where it's like, he's got the suit on and he talks very quietly and very proper and very clean, and everything's nice and professional and very soft, and that's beautiful. That's totally cool too. But I love what he was saying there before we got disconnected there with this. You guys know how technology is, right? We don't need to explain ourselves.
Yeah, it happens.
How you doing
guys.
on that end, Cam?
What's that?
How you doing on that end, man?
On this end, we're good. I'm like running the stream. If you can try and get Sean back, that'd be nice. So he was saying that he made like a declaration or something along those lines, that he was going to, in January, build his business, take massive action, and actually, grind. So I think that's awesome, because I mean, another thing that that bugs me is people who wait for New Year's, people who wait for January 1st, because if you don't start now, then have you really made your decision? If you don't start writing that book, calling this person, if you don't just take that first step, then how am I supposed to believe you'll ever take the first step? If you feel like you want to quit smoking, but you're like, yeah, January 1st. Like, that's BS. My mom did that. I love my mom, but she told me, she's like, you know what? January 1st, it's been 11 months, and the second January 1st is coming up. So, people talk a big game. So that's something that bugs me, though, because...
Well, that's one thing I love that he was telling us before we even started the podcast. He's like, what I do is I help people who are already motivated. And I love that idea, because we all... It's not that we all need motivation. Some of us have the motivation. We just don't have the strategy.
Absolutely.
And that's what he's all about.
But a lot of us...
Here. What's up, Sean?
Hey, I don't know what that was. It like totally just kicked me out. And then, I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, it's 2016, man. We're still working on it. Technology's still coming along.
Yeah, no kidding. Dude was just like, you disconnected. I was like, no, I didn't disconnect. You disconnected their Hangouts.
Yeah, how dare you, Hangouts? Accuse me. Anyways, what
right?
Before you got kicked off? Let's back up.
Yeah, so the podcast came from, I'm going to build my business. Like, I'm going to grind, and I'm going to hustle, and I'm going to do whatever I can, and I'm going to be a sponge, and I'm going to learn as much as I can. And so I just watched a bunch of, like, Gary Vaynerchuk, Grant Cardone, and Zig Ziglar, and Eric Thomas, Les Brown, like everybody I could, and I learned what they were doing and what they were saying, and tried to like find just me, because I have my own way of speaking and training and motivating and inspiring. So I just learned I used what I learned in basic training, in military basic training, and how I trained and taught, and I just used that and marketed myself as I was the former drill instructor, whatever, turned master resilience trainer, because you have to market yourself or you will be marketed. You need to position yourself or you will be positioned. You know what I'm saying? So I try to get out in front of everything and just, okay, I need a website. I need this Facebook. I need to do these videos. I need to do a blog. I need to do. So there was things that I saw people doing. I said, okay, I need to do that. Okay, I need to do that. So
That's
that's what I did.
That's a
I've been on
when it comes
9 podcasts this year. 9 podcasts.
Decent, man.
And this is the first year that I said, okay, I'm literally going to build my business. And then in February, I started writing my book called Decisions, The Power to Overcome Self-Defeating Behaviors. And it published September.
There you go. There you go. I love that, man. I love the key that you were talking about, massive action. Like, and before you even started taking the massive action, you went into massive learning, right?
Yes.
Like you said,
oh yeah.
All these people, and me and Cam, we could totally relate to that story, because before we did anything, we had to learn. We had to, immerse ourselves in the environment first, because if you don't know the language, right? If I'm speaking English and you're speaking Spanish or something, it's not gonna work, So I had to learn the language of motivational speaking, of personal and professional transformation, of personal development, all these things, because if you don't know the language, it's not going to work. And so if you're trying to just go take massive action and you're just massive action all day long, but you don't really know what you're doing, it's tough. And so I love that point that you made there. So tell us a little bit about how you made the shift from, massive learning to massive action. Because I find a lot of people, they get caught up in that learning curve. They get caught up in just learning all day, or just consuming. Because we live in the age of constant, never-ending information. And so how do you kind of get past that and move to actually taking the massive action that's necessary to get you somewhere?
I call it shiny object syndrome. So it's like, ooh, I want to do podcasts, ooh, and books, and speak. Ooh, I want to do this. Ooh, I like this marketing. Ooh, I like branding. Ooh, and you see like all of this stuff, and there's so many times where the sponsored Facebook ads, you're like, ooh, that sounds cool, and he's making this much money, and oh my gosh, and you click on it, and pretty soon you've subscribed to their email, and then another email, and then I've subscribed to like 50 people, and I've done nothing. All I've done is subscribe to other people's email lists, and I've consumed their content, but I've never applied it. At some point, you have to stop and say, okay, enough consuming. I'm going to put into action. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so
100%.
It has to be a decision. I'm done consuming. I'm over consuming, because at some point you're just going to over consume, and then you're going to have multiple conflicting. Well, this guy said to build it this way, and if I do this with a website, but this other guy said that's not good to do, and so you're like conflicting all over the place. Stop. The shiny object syndrome kills motivation. You have to say, this is my outcome, and work yourself backwards. This is the outcome I want to achieve. How am I going to do it? And work yourself backwards. I already know where I'm going to get there. So you figure out where your result is, or where you want the result, and just work yourself backwards.
Yeah, that's a great point, man. Like, just at some point deciding like, okay, enough is enough. I've got it. I got the information. Now I need to go. Right. Like I personally, man, that's something that I need to work on more, because I'll get caught up in just learning all day, because there are so many, the shiny object syndrome, man. There's so many opportunities. There's so many books. There's so many videos, podcasts, like everything. And sometimes like you will never have enough lifetime to consume all the information in the world. You just wouldn't. You just don't. And so you have to just do something at some point. And that's one thing Gary Vaynerchuk said. Like, he was saying, like, I don't consume anything. I don't read any books, watch any podcasts. I don't read any articles. I just do. And, that works for some people, I'm sure.
Right.
But you got to find that balance between, learning and doing. And I definitely argue the doing's more important.
Dude, another big thing too is a lot of people already know things that they're not applying. Like, I made the example, like, everybody knows how to lose weight. Like, it's so obvious. You work out and eat vegetables. Like, that's it. No, but everybody, they know how to do it. They just won't take that action. Everybody knows that smoking isn't bad, but they're not really applying what they know. Everybody knows that drinking and driving isn't bad, but that's still a huge killer, so.
Do you know why?
Why?
Please enlighten us.
Yeah. Tell me why.
Because they are comfortable where they are. They haven't been squeezed. Have you ever been squeezed? Have you ever been bear hugged? Have you ever been pinched to a point you're like, and it hurts and you got to get away?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Those people have not been pinched, hugged, squeezed, nothing. They haven't felt pain. When you feel pain, When I was a kid, we ate pancakes for dinner because that's the only damn thing we had in the house. And God forbid if you had some, potatoes somewhere, because we got really good that we couldn't afford pancake mix, so you have potato pancakes. That's a long story in itself, but you can actually make pancakes out of freaking potatoes because that's all the crap that we had, and we're living in my grandparents' basement. So yeah, they haven't been pinched, and I said when I have a family, there is no freaking way I'm letting my kids grow up the same way I grew up. So that's my why. That's my action. No way am I letting my kids do the same that I had. I mean, you got to be better when you're a parent. You have to become better, and it's not all about me, selfish me monster. It's okay. I have other lives in my hands, and it's real easy for people in the military to take that action because we have people's lives in our hands all the time when we go down range. So when we have a family, it's like, okay, got it. Now I got these other kids. But somebody who is, I'm 18 and I'm graduating high school and now I'm starting my life as college. What do I do? Well, I guess I'll just go to college and I guess I'll, whatever. Thinking of being an entrepreneur like you guys, they're not thinking about that. They're like, well, my mom said I go to college, so let's just go to college. Oh, my mom's going to pay my loans because I don't have a job, so that's cool. Well, because if I fail out of college, I'll just go back and live with my mom. They're not being squeezed.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, dude. Like the big shift that I had in my life was a car accident, and it wasn't fatal. Like I didn't even get hurt at all. It just squeezed me. I guess it scared me out of my skin. So
yep.
I spent the last 30 days before that just studying, learning, reading books, listening to audiobooks, watching videos, listening to podcasts, all that stuff. And then I thought I was like at the top of my game. I thought I was winning at life. And then I get in this car accident, and it just kind of reminded me, like, hey man, like, start doing shit because you're not doing anything.
Yep.
Like you're sitting around learning all day. You know it now. Go out and take action. And yeah, that's what changed my life. Like it was painful emotionally because I was like, I thought I would have been either crippled. I'm a skater. I love like moving my body. So like if I was crippled, if I was, something along those lines, it would have sucked. Yep. So I made huge changes, right? I sold my Xbox and I built a computer.
Yes.
I got rid of my bed and I built a desk and I slept under my desk for the longest time. And I just started working.
Do you guys watch Eric Thomas or listen to any Eric Thomas?
I used to.
Oh yeah,
he's great. Yeah,
dude, love Eric Thomas. Have you heard I love analogies. Like that's my jam. Like I'm an analogy junkie. You know what I mean? If I can simplify it and put it into terms that I can understand, dude, I'm on the ball rolling. Like I'm out. Like I'm massive action, right? So Eric Thomas talks about a young guy, a business owner and a coach or whatever, who said, okay, meet me here at this beach or whatever, and I'll show up in a suit and he's ready to go, and you know what I mean? Are you dressed like that? He's like, I'm dressed for success. He's like, yeah, that doesn't matter. So they go into the water and he grabs him, shoves him underneath the water and holds him there. And the guy tells him, he says, you will not be successful until you want to breathe as bad as you want to be successful. Then you'll be successful. When you want to be successful as bad as you want to breathe, then and only then will you become successful. And that's in my mind all the time. If you want to be successful.
Well, we lost him again, but man,
dude,
he was getting on to something really good there, man.
Straight up, like
that
our listeners. Yeah, go on, Brennan.
That point he was making was so important. Like, think about that, though, guys. Seriously, this guy shows up to the beach in a suit because he's like, man, I got to dress for success. So he shows up in a suit, expecting that this coach or this mentor is gonna teach him how to be successful. And sure enough, he takes him into the water, into the lake on the beach. And shoves his head underwater in the suit and everything. And he says, look, man, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. And just to think about that, like think about right now, let's try an exercise, guys. Get ready for this. You're sitting at your computer, you're sitting on your phone, you're on your car, whatever it is. You could do this. It's easy. Breathe in real quick. Just. Okay, you got that? Now breathe out everything you got. Everything. Everything. Keep going and don't breathe back in. Keep going. Now hold it. See how long you can hold it. Soon enough, you'll have to breathe. Soon enough, your body's like, I can't do this. I have to breathe or else I'm going to die. you need to take that feeling, take that emotion when it comes to achieving your goals, when it comes to achieving success, man, because it's that feeling of like, like I need it. Like I don't want it. It's not that I want it or like, I'm kind of thinking about it. It's like, I have to have it. I absolutely need success. That's the only thing that's going to get you there is that level of commitment, that level of passion, that level of desire. Like Cameron was saying, the burning desire, man, burning your ass on fire desire.
Amen.
That's an Instagram quote, guys. Get that.
Burning
your ass on fire desire. No, actually, we're gonna try to get Sean back in here, guys. So He's still holding her breath. Jeez, that's pretty crazy. I hope you really want to succeed, don't you? Jesus. Anyways, we're gonna try to get Sean back on here. In the meantime, I want to let you guys know that when it comes to this podcast, we're starting to do this show every single day. We really want to make this a kind of a community where we get together, we talk about stuff, we succeed together, we grow together. You guys could ask us your questions, we could ask you guys our questions. And
how about this,
another thing we want to do,
how about this,
what's that, Cam?
We for those of you who are watching, let us know the best time of the day for you to watch every single day. Like if there was a time, an hour in a day, in your day that is best for watching the show, let us know and we'll kind of see what's similar and like maybe average it out so that it's consistent every single day. We're live at that time.
Yeah, we've tried 7 a.m., we've tried 10 a.m. Right now, we started at 5 p.m., which is our usual. But yeah, let us know what works best for you, because the show's not about us. This show is about us, like all of us together.
You're not just.
And so
you're not just in the band, but you're in the band.
In the band. See, you're not just in. I love that, Cam. That's another Instagram quote. But that's another thing I wanted to mention was we're trying to step up our Instagram game and step up our quote game. So if there's any sort of quote that we say in the podcast or one of our guests say, something that Sean says, put it in quotation marks in the comment section. And we'll use that on Instagram as like an Instagram quote. And it's great because it's going to help other people who, need some inspiration, some motivation, or most importantly, is what today is about, some strategy, some massive action strategy to actually get you to do something. Right. So Cam, while we're waiting to get Sean back in here, let's see, or I'm curious about you. What kind of tips do you have for taking massive action, or at least having a blueprint for massive action? Because I know you've been going hard the past 2-3 weeks, a month, and it's inspiring to me. So I'm curious, man, what have you been doing that helps you take that massive action?
It's been more of a need than a want. I often think about how short my life really is like how short life is in general. And I think about the world ending. I think about like just dying, like death. Like escaping pain for me is much more important than gaining pleasure, obviously, because I'm thinking about like the worst possible ideas, like the world ending, like the environment is just being destroyed every single day, and that motivates me to get my message out there, so I have influence, so I can help the environment, so I can do that kind of stuff. That and just like my current situation, I really you have to raise your standards. Like how Sean said, if you're too comfortable, comfort is really just like, all right, my standards are here and I'm meeting them. I'm comfortable meeting my standards. But if you raise your standards, like you can raise your standards intellectually and just be like, yeah, I want more money. That's my standard. I want more money. But like you have to need more money. You have to need just to build your business. You have to need to be healthy. Like it's a need. That's all I have to say. Like,
yeah, man.
There was just a night where I was like, I'm not. This is what actually did it, man. The reason I've been like working double, triple hard than I have in the last 2 years, in the last month I've been working harder, is a Jim Rohn quote. And I will actually find the exact quote because I don't want to mess this up for you guys. 1 second. It's on my Kindle. It's from Miracle Morning for Entrepreneurs. That's where I saw the quote. Where is it? 1 second. I need to find this quote because it's awesome.
Waiting.
Sorry, this is just drum roll, I guess. Like, wait for it. Drum
roll.
This is taking a while. Wait up, guys. Just wait.
You know, I think I might know the. Is it?
No,
there's one
hey,
Jamal
shut your
quote-
mouth. Shut your mouth.
Whoa, buddy, whoa.
No, I wanted to say the whole thing because it was really good. If I could find it, I'm almost there. Dude, I read a lot of this book, guys. Reading is awesome. Like, you can watch a video, but a lot of people watch something while they do something else. Reading, you cannot do anything else while you read. That's why I love reading, because you are in it. Like, there's full attention into reading. Anyways, here's the quote. It's awesome. Your level of success will seldom exceed your level of personal development, because success is something you attract by the person that you become. So, and that reminds me of something Les Brown said. The how is none of your business. So success is something you attract by the person that you become. So you don't have to worry about attracting success. Just be the kind of person who is worthy of that success. Another thing that Ty Lopez talks about is, there's a graduating class, and a guy comes in, and he gets 15% of the income of the kid he bets on. You have to be the kid that would be bet on in a group of people. Like, are you worthy of success? Are you somebody that someone else would bet on? Like, yeah, I would bet on myself because I'm worthy of it. That's what really hit home for me, is I have to be worthy. And I was not worthy, obviously, because where you are right now is a reflection of what you've been doing for the past year, at least. Like, it's a reflection of what you've been doing. But your future is a reflection of right now. So,
Man, that's a great point, and I want to point out one word that you mentioned. It's worthy, because so many people, they want something, like, hey, I want more money, or I just want to be happier. I want to be more positive. I want more friends. I want more love. I want more, whatever it is, more and more health, more this, more that. But one thing that I always try to ask people, I love to ask people after they say, hey, I want more positivity in my life, or I want to be happier. I'll ask them, okay, what does that mean to you? Okay, well, this is what it means to have that. It means that I have to be, on top of my games. I have to care about myself. I have to, work out and be healthy, eat good food, blah, blah, blah. Okay, what do you need to do to be worthy to have happiness, health, wealth, whatever it is you want in your life? And that's where you really get down to what's, the nitty gritty of what's actually going on in here and going on in here. It's like, what does it take to be worthy? Because so many of us, we have a dream, but it's so tough to go after it when we don't feel like we deserve it, when we don't feel like we're actually worthy of attaining that. That's such an important distinction. Like for example, for the longest time, I didn't think I was worthy of being happy. Like, I just didn't. I didn't think I was a good enough person to be happy. I didn't think that, I was loved enough to be happy. I didn't think that I was doing enough or accomplishing enough or making enough money to be happy, until I finally decided, like, okay, what does it mean to be happy? Well, what does it mean to be happy to me? It just means, like, letting go, like, just let it go. Happiness is my natural state. If I'm not thinking about anything or doing anything, or just if I let everything go and just become completely present and mindful, all of a sudden I'm happy. But if I start creating expectations and all these other things, then that's the expectations are the worthiness or the what you deserve. And so that's such an important distinction to make, man. Just make sure you're worthy to yourself. It's going to be different for everybody else. Like, that's another important distinction to make, is like, everybody has their own sense of worthiness of what they need to have or to be or to create in order to feel whatever it is they want to feel. And a great way to do that is what this topic is about, man. Just taking massive action all day long. Like, that massive action, dude. When I it's funny because if I spend a day just playing video games, or I'm on a Sunday, I play games, and then I don't feel good about myself at the end of the day. But if I take absolute massive action, I sleep so well at the end of the day. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Okay,
we got Sean back in the house.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
I swapped devices and restarted some things, so hopefully, I don't know. Hangouts does this to me all the time. I hate Hangouts.
Okay, so
Does it?
we're at almost the 45-minute mark here.
Yeah.
And so we're going to close in 5 minutes tops. So if you have any closing words about massive action and all that stuff.
Yeah, so here's the plan. You have to, okay, let's say you want to take massive action on something. Here's what I tell everybody, and I'll make a Facebook video about this, and I'll roll through this. So here's the thing. You have to tie each goal to a value, because goals are just dreams with a deadline. That's the way you need to think about a goal. A goal isn't something that you achieve and you're like, okay, I'm good. Now what? No, goals are a dream with a deadline. You have to set the deadline, and in order for you to do that, you have to figure out what you value and tie it to a value, because values are where you want to be in life, and goals are just the accomplishments along the way. And that's where people go wrong. It's like, well, I got this goal, and I've been achieving this goal, and now I got the goal. Now what? There isn't a now what. You haven't achieved a goal because you set it too low. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So every time I set something out, I'm like, what's my goal? I want to be a motivational speaker. Got it. Nope. I want to be the best damn I want to be up there with Tony Robbins. I'll probably never get there, but that's my goal. And if I got to spend the next 50 years trying to do it, spend the next 50 years trying to do it. You got to play the long-term game. A lot of people are like, well, I want it now. But you didn't learn anything. You didn't grow anywhere. You didn't earn it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So a lot of people are set in the mindset where, oh, I can do this in the next couple months. No. It takes years and years and years to get to where that level is, where Tony Robbins and Zig Ziglar and all those guys. So set the value, right? Whatever you value, family, love, respect, whatever. Set the value, and then start setting your long-term goals, and then set your daily and weekly goals, and then make a weekly check-in. Where did I hit? Where did I miss? And where do I got to go? So you just, like a GPS will let you go where you need to go if you let it. It'll say rerouting as many times as it can, because it wants to get you to where you need to be. You need to be that GPS and act like that GPS. Okay, that sucks. Rerouting. Oh, that sucked too. Rerouting. Never give up. Just reroute and chart your course and take freaking massive action and get to where you got to go no matter what.
Boom. Sean with the analogies, man.
Oh, yeah, I like that.
I love that, man. All right, so Cam, you got some closing words before we end off the show?
I guess all I have to say is be worthy of what you want, right? Because people who are the bodybuilders, as an example, they're not just jacked for no reason, dude. They spend 4 hours a day working out. Maybe not 4 hours a day, that's a lot, but they spend a lot of time in the gym, man. They go after pain. Like, they love pain.
Oh, yeah.
Just realize you have to be worthy of it, okay? If you're fat sitting on a couch and you're wondering why you're fat, or you're wondering, oh, why me? Why am I doing this? Just self-pity or whatever, just realize, like, once you start embodying the habits of a skinny person, the success will be attracted to you. You have to be that person now, and then it will come to you. You can't just wait. You just be like, yo, I'll be that person once it's there. It won't be there unless you're that person now. So, like, you can't get skinny unless you start eating healthy and working out now, right? It doesn't happen. Right. Same with literally everything in life. So, those are my closing words. What about you, bro?
Grind some more.
My closing words, I'm just gonna have to say, when it comes to massive action, just start now, like, because the starting that's the hardest part. It is the hardest part. It's going to take you more energy to take the first step than it is to take the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. And it just gets easier and easier as long as you take that first step. You know, an object at rest will stay at rest, but an object in motion will build momentum and just get better and better. Dude. So if you take action right now, like as soon as this podcast is done, go do something, like anything, you're going to get momentum, and then you're going to feel good about it, and you're going to keep on going and keep on going. Like, once somebody starts working out, you know, the first week might be tough, the first 2 weeks, but after the third week, you start to feel good. You start to get high off working out. Like when I go to the gym and I push those weights and I'm boxing, I lose my breath and my face is red and I'm sweating. Like, I feel high, stoned as I could get, and I love it. And it makes me feel better and better and better every time. And so chase that momentum, because the momentum is what's going to get you to take even more massive action. You get the snowball effect, the ripple effect, and that's huge.
Dude,
so Sean, give us your closing words, buddy.
Hey man, you got to lead with your why. Okay. Simon Sinek, a great dude. You have to watch some Simon Sinek, dude. Simon Sinek says people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And that's how I market and brand myself. People are going to, oh, you're a trainer and you're a coach? Cool, man. I'm going to buy you. No, they buy why I do what I do. And why I do what I do is because I almost ended my life because I wasn't taking action and I sucked. Boom. I'm out.
Drop the mic. It's over. That's Sean, everybody. Thank you, Sean Douglas, for coming into the show. We appreciate it so much.
Absolutely, man.
I know we had some technical difficulties here and there, but you know what? We'll have you back sometime. We'll make it right. We'll link to your profile and everything so that people could check you out without any sort of interruptions or disconnections.
Sure.
But
Sure.
thank you so much, man. We really appreciate you coming on the show and sharing your message.
Dude, you guys are rocking it, man. I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Love it. Love it. Thank you. Cam, roll
Yeah,
the
man.
outro.
The outro. Oh man, I forgot there was an outro. 1 second, ladies and gentlemen.
1 second. Well, we don't necessarily need an outro as much as we just got to say thank you guys for like tuning in, for all the comments. Like the comment game today was insane. So many comments. We got Denise, Mark, Rachel, Shelby, Stephanie. So many cool people in the comments here today. We love it. We love your support. We love the little community, the little show, the little thing we got going on here. We're doing this every day. We're building it. We're growing it. We're getting this message out to the people who need it, man, because like this isn't just for us. This is for us. Like I said, us together. So thank you. That's all I got. Peace. We'll see you tomorrow. Cam? Are we still live?
Yeah, the outro's going, bro.
I just...
Well, yeah, I'd say, yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. We're just gonna dance until the end of the show. That's what we're doing. You guys can't hear the music, but I can, because I'm the guy behind the show. Anyways, you know what, Sean? Thanks for coming on, man. I hope we can do some stuff in the future, and I appreciate you.
Yeah, dude, I definitely have an opportunity for you guys.
Oh, man, we'll talk about it. Awesome.
Let's talk.